How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about Leinster and why I feel they are the favourites to win the Champions Cup, especially when you do have a team like Toulouse playing their absolute socks off. But firstly, I wanted to break down a little bit of news coming from NZ about a player called Reiko Ioane. Right, so before we crack on, please like and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow. And I just want to be providing you guys with the best content possible. So let's break it down. Let's start off with Rieko, because we do have Jordie Barrett that's going to be leaving Leinster relatively soon, and we've all seen what Jordie Barrett is doing, the performances he's putting in, and just the sheer quality and talent that he is. Now, he is a player that, like Reiko Ioane, has opted to take a sabbatical abroad, essentially broaden his horizons. And I do think this is a good thing for for New Zealand rugby, as I think it, like I said, it really does just help to broaden their horizons, right? Being in a squad like Leinster is only going to improve you because they have some serious talent. They do have players like Jamison Gibson Park. They do have players like Lowe, who really just became far better players when they went to Ireland. So we've seen the talent that New Zealand has, and we've seen what Leinster is capable of developing. And I think it's a brilliant move. And I think this is something that we are going to end up seeing a lot more often. And honestly, I applaud it because for certain players, I do think is ultimately going to help the New Zealand rugby in the long run in terms of helping developing players. But I think it also go to help strengthen Leinster as well. Because again, we've seen the quality that Jordie Barrett has. We've seen what he's been doing. Personally, I do feel that Jordie Barrett is quite possibly one of the most all-rounded players in world rugby. We see his ability to kick. We see his ability to play his long range balls. We see his ability to tackle. We see his ability to defend. He is just off the charts, and there aren't many players in world rugby that are able to do what he does as effectively as he does it, right? And he shows just his quality, his talent. Now, is Rieko Ioane at that same level? Personally, I don't think so. But do I think he can improve playing for Leinster? 100%. Rieko Ioane is, 28 years old? So he's going to be playing some of his best rugby. And then you have the quality of the players at Leinster, the coaching staff at Leinster. They will just help him take it up just that extra notch, get him that bit quicker, faster, more technical, more tactical. And yeah, I think that's only going to go to help improve him. And I do believe it's only going to be for 6 months, but I think this is a brilliant move for him, brilliant move for Leinster. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because obviously since he was moved into centre, he hasn't exactly been playing the best. I think some of his better performances have come from the wings, but honestly, I think this Leinster move is a very good a very good move for him, because he's got the quality around him, he's got the experience, he's got the youth to keep him in check. And yeah, what do you guys think in relation to this move? Right? Do you think it's good for New Zealand rugby having players coming to Ireland playing for teams like Leinster, then going back to go play for New Zealand? Because obviously they are contracted, just like Jordie Barrett is contracted to New Zealand up until 2027 for the World Cup. But let me know what you guys think in relation to that. Do you think this is a good move? And do you think it is good for New Zealand rugby? Let me know in the comment section below. But now I wanted to break down Leinster, right? Because we cycle back to Jordie Barrett on the quality performances that he's been putting in. We've seen the help, the guidance that he's also giving to Prendergast as well, being in those spaces, working in that pocket, making crucial tackles, putting out brilliant passes, opening up lots and lots of space. Absolutely, absolutely brilliant. And we've seen the works that they are putting in. It's just phenomenal. You watch the game that they had up against Glasgow. They didn't allow them to put a single point past them. Not a single point past them. The only team that has been able to beat them is in the URC, and that's the Bulls. And even then, that was by a very small margin. And they didn't have their full squad. So now we have all the players back. You having players like Lowe, you having players like Jamison Gibson Park come back. You're having players like Ringrose, Henshaw, and the list just goes on. Andrew Porter, I can keep naming these names. A-listers that have now come back into the fray. They are back into the squad and they are ready to take names. The last 2 games in the Champions Cup, they are putting ridiculous performances in. They are steamrolling through people. How can they not be favorites for this cup? Right? We don't only look at their first 15. We look at the entire 23. We look at how they play as a squad. Absolutely ridiculous. When they are replacing players, they aren't replacing players just for the sake of replacing them. There's a tactical reason behind it. And they were replacing like for like quality. There are not many teams in world rugby outside of Toulouse that can replace quality for quality. There just isn't. And Leinster are one of those teams that no matter who they bring on, that is going to be of an elite level. To have the likes of someone like Henshaw being on the bench, having the likes of Gary Ringrose could be on the bench, right? Sheer quality that is on the bench that can come on and be absolutely destructive at any point in the game. So we're looking into past performances. We're looking into the games that they are going to be having, because in the semis, we are going to be seeing Leinster versus the Saints. Now we look into their last matchup. It was a pretty close affair, right? Personally, this year, I'm a little bit on edge in terms of the Saints. Obviously, I would love to see a Saints win. I would love to see them come out on top with an absolutely stunning performance. We saw the works that they put in their last game, but this is Leinster we're talking about. The Saints are struggling. The Saints are here, there, and everywhere. And I say this time after time, they can either be world beaters or they get beaten like they bloody 12-year-olds. Leinster are a team that are unforgiving, and at points, they truly are unbeatable. So for the Saints to get anything out of this game, they're going to have to play their absolute best to be able to get anything out of this game and not get humiliated and embarrassed by Leinster. So personally, I would love to see a Saints win, but realistically, we are probably going to end up seeing Leinster win and get on in through to the finals. So then we look at who's potentially going to be meeting Leinster in the finals, right? Because we now have Bordeaux versus Toulouse. We saw the last game that happened between Toulouse and Bordeaux came out on top. Toulouse definitely do seem to be a different side, not having a player like Antoine Dupont in their side. Obviously, they do have some serious talent, and they have some serious players in place, but not having someone like Antoine Dupont is a very, very big blow to them. So what are their chances? Honestly, I would say with Dupont, it would be very much a 50-50. Without Dupont, I do feel that's going to edge it's going to edge those margins just by a few percent in Leinster's favour, because Leinster are coming through with ridiculous talent, and then having a player who is, if not on par with Antoine Dupont in the likes of Jamison Gibson Park. Now, a lot of you guys might give me a bit of smack in relation to that, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Antoine Dupont. He is quite possibly one of my favorite players to watch in world rugby, just in general. But we look at the quality and the talent of Jamison Gibson Park, you cannot tell me that he is not at that level. He is not at that elite level, right? So Leinster have him fit. Toulouse do not. Toulouse also have a whole bunch of French internationals who are just ready to go. But I don't know. Leinster's a different ball game. Leinster's a different ball game. And then you have someone like Archie Snyman, who is just ready to smash some heads in and be that bloody Dutch Viking from South Africa that will just, tear your arm off and eat you like you some biltong, right? So I don't know. I do feel Leinster are favourites looking at their squad depth, looking at the way that they've been playing. We saw Toulouse get very close, very, very, very close to losing up against Toulon. Again, Leinster are not going to be that forgiving. They are not going to be that forgiving, and we know they are going to score a try. At least one. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Leinster are favourites to win the Champions Cup? Personally, I do. Toulouse is quite possibly my favourite club in top 14 rugby, but so is Bordeaux. I love watching both of them because of the players that they have. And Toulouse can never underestimate a player like Louis Barrett, Le Beep Beep. You can never underestimate him because he will gladly split you open and just bang in 4 tries within the space of 2 minutes. All right, so anything's possible. Let me know what you guys think. Are we going to see a Leinster Toulouse final? And are we finally going to see a Leinster win in the Champions Cup? So let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe as always. It really does help my channel grow. My voice is still recovering, so I'm sorry for my voice breaking at times, but I love you all. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.